Police. This initiative is named as Extra. Now I will shift to my presentation. This Extra stands for External Monitoring and Tracking. The X is for external and TRA stands for tracking. So this initiative was started. So the brief background of this, we drew the inspiration from one High Court case law. In State of Delhi versus Sanju Kumar Chawla case, the High Court has mentioned that the government has to consider the use of advances in technology to track under trials in cases of, like the case was regarding bail application. So we have drawn our inspiration from this, that even the courts are emphasizing on use of technology, use of videography, and in today's era, it is imperative to use technology for such things. I would like to draw your attention to what was mentioned by the lordships in this particular case. In as aside, this case brings to the fore the need for investigative agencies and to consider the use of advances in technology to track under trials in case of this nature, where the state may fear that an accused may flee from trial. Digital and electronic equipment as presently used in America ought to be introduced in India so that tracking of so that a tracking system similar to the GPS tracking system can be used to monitor the movement of the accused released on bail, allowing the authorities to gather information all the time while permitting the accused to undertake the usual and ordinary activities of the normal life. So in this background, we try to use this in external monitoring and tracking system. So in Maharashtra Police Act, there are provisions of externment. There are three sections, section 55, section 56 and 57. So usually the externment is for the people who are dangerous to public order. There are provisions that in 55, if someone is member of a gang who is a danger to public order, then in 56, someone who is an individual who is a danger to public order, and in 57 that a person who was convicted in earlier cases of chapter 12 and 17, they can be extended. So there are many instances where these powers are used in Maharashtra, but it is also found that people, they involve in violation of whatever orders are issued to them. So there is provision under section 141 and 142 of Maharashtra Police Act, which deals with such violations. So section 141 deals with penalty for contravention of directions given under whatever these sections under which the externment order is issued. So the punishment is for imprisonment of up to 1 year. Then section 142, supposedly some externee who enters without permission the area from which he is directed to leave or his direct extent. So, or sometimes on some grounds he is permitted to visit on some like family ground, etc., or some death in the family. So he is permitted, but supposedly he overstays. So then also, and if he violates that, so there is punishment for imprisonment, which may extend up to 2 years. So what is the mechanism as of now? The mechanism is we do physical checking or some human intelligence. Many times, like victims of such persons' activities, they only give us intelligence. But this present mechanism is not foolproof. This present mechanism is not foolproof, and that's why we are not sure that every such violation is detected by police. Despite of that, I would like to draw your attention that in year 2017, there were some 430 orders which were issued by Pune Police in Pune City Commissionerate. In 2018, there were some 54 cases, and in year 2019, there were 358 cases. Wherein in last 3 years, it is found that 405 number of externals which were involved in violation of whatever orders were issued to them. And so 595 cases were registered for violation of breach of the externment orders. So the number is more because some externals, they were involved more number of times, twice or thrice, because there is not much deterrence, and at times they think that they can fool the system. At the same time, it is not the offenses of the breach of violation of the externment order. These people, they were found coming to Pune city and getting involved or getting engaged in some other criminal activity. So there were some 102 such cases which were registered. So we have drawn our inspiration from the High Court case law, and we thought, why can't we use technology to monitor such externals? So a lawful order is issued by the Deputy Commissioner of Police in Commissionerate, and he orders that particular external by following the due procedure to leave that area. This can be for one district, that is Pune. At times we give order to leave the adjoining 2-3 districts also. And now how to monitor it? So we thought of using technology and use of facial recognition based artificial intelligence system. So AI based facial recognition. So there will be one automated alert for geofence breach. So now we have shifted our reliance from human intelligence to technology. And this was more imperative during COVID-19 scenario, because your physical checking of such externals was not possible because we were so vulnerable. There was so many policemen, they were falling sick due to corona, and that's why we thought technology is must in this. There were at the same time this use of technology, because it is mobile centric. So this is non-invasive. Nothing is introduced in the body of that person. At the same time, nothing so visible, because that some person will be marked by that particular equipment on his body. So this is non-invasive method of technical surveillance. And then we get real-time alerts. We get real-time alerts at police station level, the GCP office level, and then we have one particular cell, that is preventive cell. So we get alerts there also. Many times people say that when you are doing such surveillance, you are breaching the other violation, or you are breaching his human right or his fundamental right. But there is built-in mechanism for data secrecy that this cannot be shared, this will not be shared. Next. So what do? We issue that order, and in that order there is mention of whatever has to be done. So that externally uses the custom mobile app, which then he takes the selfie along with the geotagging. The technology automatically verifies the captured selfie, then its geolocation against the registered information in real time. This is important that it is the real time. Then this verified information is published on the live dashboard, and which is accessible to the designated police personnel in real time for real time monitoring. Then the live dashboard maintains a log of each attendance, and like which is associated external information, date, time, the selfie, geolocation, etc. And these violation alerts are raised on the live dashboard for face mismatch if there is any, and at the same time or violation of geolocation as per the externment order. So briefly how it looks, that the person will take his he will update his attendance by selfie, that will come to our server, and then if there is any facial mismatch or any mismatch of date or time, that will also, we will get alert. At the same time, if there is some violation of location, the location will come that he is there. If it is an alert, the system checks it. So the advantages of this extra technology, that this is highly scalable and seamless technology to monitor externals. This is need of the hour because they were extended by following due procedures, and they are removed from the particular district, and that's why it is our responsibility to ensure that they don't enter the jurisdiction easily. And that's why this is scalable and seamless as compared to whatever human um, intelligence we were using or the physical checking we were using. This is contactless, remote monitoring technology, and this is, we are reducing the risk of any health or safety risks. This is real time and full scale externment monitoring. Enhances productivity of police force, because now when so many people were engaged at the same time, it was demoralizing to find that in someone's jurisdiction some external is coming and found, then it was usually used to be considered as lack of intelligence or lack of monitoring, which now doesn't happen, and that's why the productivity of police force improves. um, we launched this on 15th of June 2020. One of our DCP Zone 5, Suhas Bauche, he extended Kailash Pandhekar on 17th of June, and these whatever or everything was mentioned in his order. So we got geofence breach alert on 27th of June. Immediately, an offence was registered under sections of 141, 142 on 29th June. It was immediately charge sheeted because there was technological evidence, and it was charge sheeted on 30th of June. On 2nd July, the judge awarded punishment of imprisonment of 6 months. We immediately got that punishment, and the externee is presently in behind bars for this punishment. So now currently there are 32 such orders which were issued, and so 32 criminals which are under surveillance using extra. At the same time, on some bail applications, the courts, they have approved the users of extra for monitoring their movement, especially in heinous offences. So this is some few press coverages in Times of India. Then there is news of the criminal who got 6 months jail for externment order violation. We started this as HQTS, that is home quarantine tracking system, and there was, so technology was used to ensure to see or ensure that the people who were home quarantined do not leave their houses and do not expose others for COVID threat. And then we thought that same technology can be used for external tracking, and that's why that HQTS was, we can say, it was the launching pad, and we extended this for external tracking. It was reported by PTI also. Then it was presented to the Home Minister of Maharashtra. There was too much brainstorming in this particular case, in this particular application. Many of our DCPs, they were given the task to find the pros and cons of the system. We thought that whether we are violating any fundamental right. So we took legal opinion by many legal experts, and we found that whatever we are doing is in the legal ambit, and we are not violating any fundamental right of any person. And we are very happy and we are very proud that we are using technology for one important task. This initiative is approved by court also, and we now in Maharashtra Police is in process to extend it to all other units.
Sir, you can conclude. You can conclude now, sir. You concluded, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very nice, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very impressive presentation, sir. And we are very happy. We like to understand 2-3 points,
Sir.
before I go to my other jury members. Who has built it? You know, it's in-house or it's house-host? Number one. Number two, is it 24/7? And who is monitoring it is to be seen. You have to kindly tell us. And which are the other cities which have adopted this similar system? Because it's very impressive system, to be very frank. You are saying that already 32 such externees are already under this scheme, which is approved by Honorable Court. So I would like to understand that how really it has helped in reducing the violences also.
the first point, whether it is in-house or some outsourcing was done. So I mentioned that for home quarantine tracking, because police was closely involved in home quarantine tracking since beginning in all the units in India. So Vijna Labs, they helped us to develop that, and with the help of our in-house engineer, we extended this and made it applicable for external tracking. So this is in-house plus the Vijna Labs, which who have helped us to develop this technology or develop this particular app. Um, as rightly said, sir, in the photo we can see that Honorable Home Minister, he has approved and we have submitted our proposal to Home Minister, and probably in few days it will be applicable for the entire state of Maharashtra. Honorable DGP of Maharashtra, he has seen this presentation. He has recently visited our unit and he was very much impressed. And uh, now it is going to be formulated, the procedure is to be formulated and it will be applicable or it will be used by all the units in Maharashtra. As sir, initially, which I said, there were almost four, not five externals who were found violating the externment orders prior to the use of technology. It was because they understood that there is limitation to physical checking, there is limitation to human intelligence. Here also, now for 32, there was one particular case where someone was found violating that and he is punished for that particular offense. Whenever we are um, informing the externee about this technology, we give him the proper presentation that how he will be caught, and at the same time the punishment has acted as deterrent, and that's why other 32 were not found violating whatever orders we have issued. Yes, there are probably the other members may ask me how they can fool or cheat this technology, but as of now, we have taken due care to ensure that, because it is not that they will upload the selfie once a day. We, because the number is less also, we are also telling surprisingly that, okay, this hour, now we send you a selfie. So the technology can verify, and the all other 32, they are found to be not violating this particular
Okay, Mr. Venkateshan, the thing is, we want to know a training part, because what is happening, it's based on the artificial intelligence and the face recognition. So how equipped are your people who are tracking it, sir?
So Vijna Labs, they undertook training sessions for that, and on at least, because this was launched in the month of June, so 3 sessions are already held, and we are in process of updating their knowledge, because we are keep doing brainstormings and we find technological people to how this system can be cheated and how to make it foolproof, and that's why the technological training is updated, at least messages updated thrice till date, and we will be doing it in future also.
Very good, sir. Mohan, sir, more technical points from your side, sir. Unmute yourself, sir. Mohan, sir, we can't hear you.
Yes. Oh, no, I was muted. Uh, I would have definitely preferred to have a little more brief on the technology which has been used, uh, as to what are the modules and what is the basic underlying technological features and its implementation. What I would also like to have, any technology which is there has its plus points and its negative points. I think those are the things which need to be considered, that what are the loopholes and what are the strengths of this particular thing, because any solution of this time is something which is slightly evolutionary in nature. because over a period of time, it has to keep on improving. And it has to fall within the framework of the law. And unfortunately, our law, as far as the privacy is concerned, is most highly undefined. Even at the Supreme Court level, they have still not decided as to what is the personal privacy, what is applicable, and what is not applicable. So there are two, three things. This technological solution with all the pros and cons and its evolutionary methodology has to be very systematically presented at not only at the state level, but also at a national level, because this is not just a district problem or a state problem, it's a national issue which is there. And ultimately, it's a national decision under the criminal procedures code, which has to be incorporated. I think what they have done is an excellent initiative, innovation, excellent pilot, but it has to be institutionalized at a national level. And to do that, this type of an analysis of technology and its technological roadmap, along with the strengths and limitation, has to be presented at the highest level.
So thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable inputs. This particular case where we got punishment for violation, we ourselves, we were willing that this should go for legal scrutiny by High Court, where it will be challenged, and so that everything will be presented before High Court, and we may get a case law which will be applicable and which will be a very important milestone in use of this such technology. Unfortunately or fortunately, the particular case is not yet challenged, and so the legal scrutiny at High Court level has not happened. And as sir you rightly pointed out, it is evolutionary and it is evolving, and we also want it to evolve more. Probably many things that I said, that we think that how someone will try to cheat this system. So that's why we are trying to find ways and means to ensure that it remains foolproof. At the same time, sir, you mentioned about breach of privacy. So we are taking that, rather it is mentioned in the order that it will not be used anywhere. So we are not tracking the movements of that particular person at, though it is available in real time, only geofencing. Whenever he enters our Pune unit, so there will be the geofence alert will be given. So elsewhere, supposedly he is in different district and he is moving from one point to another point. We don't disclose it. We don't intend to disclose it. And only when he is in violation, that will be used.
Very good, because Mohan sir has made very valid points, sir. So this would be really helpful because it's the question of the implementation at the national level. So your inputs are really valuable. Sur sir, your viewpoint, sir? Unmute yourself, sir. Sur sir, unmute, sir.
Sir, right now I don't have any specific question. Thank you very much. Good presentation, sir.
Very nice. And Yeshu Babu, any observation from your side? Unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. In fact, the application is very much relevant to the current scenario, sir, because what is happening is in many times we are enforcing the law in all the possible ways, but especially these kind of externments or bind overs, all these security proceedings kind of things. Once we enact the order, unless the person is identified whether he is complying with the order is more important. So I think our CPs are at this juncture, they have taken the initiative for having some technical intervention. And as Bhushan sir has rightly mentioned, and every intervention will be having its own pros and cons. So here it's like a mutual incentive based, it's a technical intervention based on mutual incentiveness.
Very nice.
Because if the externee who is being monitored through this mobile application, if he is not, willing to disclose his data, or it may lead to legal problems. And second thing is, every time he has to possess the smartphone, which will be incorporating this particular application, and at the same time it has to use the what we call this data. So in case that fellow is so smart enough that he will be keeping his mobile phone in his home, and he will try to enter into the area which he is not supposed to enter. So again, I think that there might be some mechanism from the headquarter level where that fellow will be called randomly to check his present location and cross-check his geo coordinates with respect to his geotagging and all. So once the system is fine-tuned, I think that these small loopholes or lacunas which are there, they can be they can be fixed up, and subsequently this technical intervention will brings up more effectiveness in the crime prevention, especially from the
Yashu Babu.
habitual offenders.
Point
Yes,
very well taken, Mr. Venkateshan. He has also made a very good point because he is from Andhra Police and he is also equally capable officer like you. So I think that whatever feedback Mr. Yashu Babu has given is really worth, and I hope that it will be implemented to make it a foolproof system. Thank you very much, sir. Now, Samir, we can move to the next presentation, please.
Now, thank you very much, sir, for the presentation. Can you please stop your sharing the screen?
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
very much, sir.
Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rohit Malpani ji, Superintendent of Police, District Baddi, Himachal Pradesh, to present his presentation. It's over to you, sir. Please, you can start.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I'm sharing my screen. Sir, I'll be sharing my initiative which we have taken in our police district Baddi. It's a part of Solan Revenue District in Himachal Pradesh. And we had launched a geotagging tool for the COVID-19 management and for the COVID-19 patients. We had done this initiative and it is being implemented for the past 2 months. And we have been geotagging the data of all the COVID-19 patients to understand how the COVID is spreading in our area. So first of all, I'll give you a brief overview of the police district BBN, that is Baddi, Barutiwala, Nalagarh, which is a part of Solan district in Himachal Pradesh. Sir, it is one of the largest pharma hub in the northern India, and it has almost 3,500 industries, including 2,000 MSMEs in the area. And daily we have an inward-outward movement of migrants, employees, service agents, repair agents, which come from Chandigarh, Panchkula, Ambala, and go back in the evening. And this footfall is around 30 to 40,000 people per day. So till now, what we were happening is once the unlock measures started and the COVID started increasing, we were not able to take any informed decision making whether the particular patient has to be kept in home isolation or he should be shifted to COVID care center, or how we should denotify the containment zones, how we should regulate the traffic, which industry should be kept operational, which industry should be shut down. And there was a lot of chaos, and almost every officer was taking decision as per his own understanding, and we were not having any scientific data whether how we should go about this. So we developed this interactive visualization tool which helped police as well as health department, revenue department, and other stakeholders to COVID was spreading in our area, and how we should work on certain aspects like home isolation as well as shifting, notification and denotification. So this tool we have designed absolutely free of cost, and the softwares which we have used for the tool is Google Forms, Google Data Spreadsheet, and Google Data Studio.